Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Mason County regularly scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting. It's Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Present.
Jim Marlowe.
Present.
Jim Razor.
Present.
All right, at this time, I'll ask everybody to rise while we say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Razor, would you lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the blessings that you provide to us each and every day. We ask that you look over all the folks that are in this room as we conduct the county's business. Ask that you give some special time to our farmers and our firefighters as we work through a very dry period. Ask that you always be with our first responders, our armed forces as they are scattered around the world, putting their lives in danger so that they can keep us safe as we live here in the greatest nation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Gentlemen, on our consent agenda, did you have the opportunity to go through the minutes and reports?
Yes.
Any changes, anything that we need to talk about? Okay, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Yay.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Jim Razor.
Next thing on the agenda is the highway department. George, oh, you have a subdivision, let's take a look at.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. This is Ivy subdivision. You leave out of Manning on 37, right off to the left is the short where the short subdivision is. It's Mr. Ivy would like to subdivide a 2-acre. He has a 2-acre lot. He would like to divide into 2 1-acre lots. And there's already an existing easement for egress and utilities. It's recorded. I talked to the neighbors and we've talked to all the departments. Nobody has an issue. I think it's a pretty subdivision. Everything's okay with it. Yes, sir.
Now, they've got plenty of frontage on the easement. Here's the train tracks. And you ran it with Josh.
Yes.
And
Yes, Josh is fine.
Okay. GIS is good, GIS. I think this is, out of all the ones that we do, this is a pretty simple.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, okay.
All right. Thank you.
We need to approve that subdivision. Is there a resolution on that? Do we usually have a resolution?
No, not with that.
All right, is there a motion to approve this, ID subdivision?
I make a motion, we approve the IE subdivision as discussed. It's presented.
Second.
Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else to say about that? Okay, roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Jim Razor.
All right. Give us an update on the roundabout.
Absolutely, yeah. We're about 97% finished. We have a little bit of electrical work yet to do, a little bit more seating. But all in all, folks seem happy with it. It's functioning well. We did have an issue with electricity. We have 7 poles, but the foundations did not match the poles, unfortunately. So we have adapters on the way. We had a little bit of snafu with our signage. It's on the way, but the sheriff has been gracious enough to let us use his light plant. So we lighted at night with it for safety. And then we use our signage for temporary. But the signage was in as of last week. Hopefully they'll get put up late this week, and the adapters for the poles should be here next week, and we should be able to wrap up. We just started, not to switch gears, but we just started the power plant power plant resurfacing down Lake of Egypt. We started it today. So pretty excited about that. We've had some advanced working out there and everything seems to be going well. But we're kind of winding down on the big construction projects, which is good. Feels good. A lot of maintenance upcoming.
All right, well, thank you, George.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
guys.
You guys driven around the roundabout?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, it's
Great.
very nice.
Awesome. It seems to be functioning well,
Absolutely.
especially at shift change.
Yeah. Moving people through the wall?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything for old business? Moving down to new business, the Hope Trust rates, this time every year, we get our renewal rates for Hope Trust. And Hope Trust folks are here today to tell us about it. Yeah. Good morning, Jacob.
Discussed with a few of you, but the county did receive a 9% increase this year for the Hope Trust renewal. I do believe we'll be able to get the overall cost of that down. For 2026, we have a few plans that we offer, one of those being a high deductible plan. And I think for anybody carrying dependent coverage, I think it will make sense because it will save them quite a bit in their paycheck. So plan for October is we are going to go ahead and work on getting some spreadsheets put together to show the differences in cost of what it would be switching to that plan. Then we're also going to work with Julie on setting up some employee meetings to explain to the employees that, hey, you do have another option. This could be cost effective for you guys and save you quite a bit in your paychecks there. So worst case scenario would be a 9% if nothing changes, but I am hopeful we can bring that overall cost down with some movement to the deductible plan.
All right. All right, plan's doing well.
Plan's doing well. Everything seems to be going well. So I think that having this high deductible option will help some people out. I think it will bring some savings to them, and I think it brings some savings to the county as well.
And we still are going to receive the dividend.
Yes, that's another great point. So the Hope Trust actually did give dividends back this year, and the county, I believe, received a dividend or will receive a dividend in 2026 for the amount of $8,360. So we will get with you guys and present you a check. But the Hope Trust felt that the Hope Trust, everything was running well within the Hope Trust, so why not give our members the dividend back? And that was the amount that we received. So.
Excellent. Thank you. You guys got any questions?
Oh, the first time I've ever received a dividend.
It's never happened before.
Never happened.
No.
It's great news.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, well, thank you, Jacob. So we need to approve this. And make a motion that we accept the renewal rates for the Hope Trust health options for public entities insurance plan that the county has. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Anything else anybody like to say before we vote? Okay, could I have a roll call, please?
Tim Matheson,
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah.
Jim Rice.
Yeah.
Ashley, you would be up next. This is the enterprise resource planning software, which will become our new accounting software. Yeah.
Talking here.
Grace and Aaron and I can talk together. So obviously, we've had a lot of discussion about our accounting software that we have currently with human resources, payroll, and everything else, fixed assets that's in place. County continues to grow and we need to make a change in order to be able to meet the needs of the county and its citizens. We had an opportunity, we put out an ERP, or an RFP for an ERP system, and had 6 different companies submit a proposal to us. Amanda and I actually went over all the proposals. We had demos from all 6 companies and did some pretty extensive Q&A with all of them. After reviewing the services and the modules that they have, the price points that we felt that we needed to stay within, the company that's going to present to you to go with is BSNA software with their BSNA cloud system. It is going to provide the county with general ledger, accounts payable, cash receiving, accounts receivable, fixed assets, payroll, human resources. So it's going to cover the gamut. It's cloud-based. It'll let all of us be on the same platform. We'll be able to set up various accounts for different departments, which will have view-only status, and everything will be live time. So they'll be able to look at all that. Payroll will be, there will be a portal in which, individuals will be able to look at their pay stubs, W-2s, everything else, that we haven't been able to provide in the past. The fixed asset system, which is a separate system now, will be incorporated into this. So that'll be taken care of. All of our claim process, which will be good moving forward for all of us, as well as the new internal auditor, plus the auditing firm that we are engaging with, will all be electronic. We should be able to, you can assign duties within your departments. You can scan in and attach and invoices and everything else. It can go directly to, the department heads, and also like in the case of the county highway or EMA or anybody like that has to have 2 signatures from commissioners. They'll be able to do that electronically. It'll be forwarded to you all. It'll be set up where as long as 2 people approve it, you can approve it from your phone, from your office, from any remote setting that we set forward, as long as you can log in and be able to do that. So should increase efficiency, should reduce travel time and moving things around and paper. I'll be able to approve checks from my office, with the general fund with Amanda. So we won't have to run things back and forth. We can auto signature as long as I approve it. It'll be several steps into the future from where we stand. So, do you want the initial price? We asked for a total proposal for implementation in 5 years, so we can budget for it. How do you want me to present this? The initial budget year portion is just the like the 85,000.
Looks like to me that our initial costs are going to be $245,000.
Well, actually, it's the 212,805 includes the estimate of the $33,055 in travel and on site at the time.
On site.
So that's included. So technically, the implementation portion is 180,175, and then the 65,685 is the annual cost for
Okay,
the
that's
software itself.
our year-over-year cost.
But yeah, if you wanted to figure, if we want to err on the high side, yeah, you're talking first year implementation, probably 213,000.
How soon would this be brought up to speed?
So I talked to our rep yesterday. He actually sent a copy or sent an agreement over, which I forwarded to Rhett and CC you all into that. If we can sign the contract by the end of the month, implementation can go live date would be July or August of next year. I mean, they're confident of that. They would assign us a project manager after talking through it. DeKalb County, I think I've mentioned to you guys in the past, they had a very similar system to what we had, a DOS-based system. They converted them 2 years ago. There were some hiccups there, but they've now got that process down. So they felt confident that we could be, up and running by August, which would allow us to do budgeting within the new system, would allow us to close out the year, in that new system, be able to provide, all accounting and audit information to our auditors through this new system. They'll provide us as much on-site training as necessary. I mean, the plan would probably be just initial thoughts is they'll take care of this building first. Obviously, my office, Amanda's office, we can work with Brian and the assessor's office and commissioners to make sure we've got all the processes set up, and then we'll implement it out to the remaining offices. So there may be some overlap as far as paper and electronic until we all get up to speed. But yeah, the goal would be that by year end, we would have everybody on the system, everybody who has a shadow file, they would be able to convert the QuickBooks stuff over into that, even if you have a standalone one, and be able to use this platform, from 12.1, or 1.1 on.
Okay, so I'm just a little bit confused on the total amount that we're gonna be paying in the first year.
Well, so if you look
Because
at
I'm looking
the,
at the payment schedule down here. And when you total all those up, that is the 212,805 plus 33,055.
right,
For, that was a total of 200 and maybe I'm just being confused, 245,860. Is that what the first year payment's gonna be?
yes.
Okay,
Well, potentially, because again, you got the 33,055
that could be different.
that could be different. That's an estimate.
That's an estimate.
So, I mean, hard costs are those the 212, then whatever travel
Or
costs.
whatever the travel cost is gonna be. Okay.
So potentially, yes, it could be 245.
These monthly payments or?
No, well, I mean,
They have to perform.
they have to perform, they have to provide. So upon initiation of the agreement, we'll send them a check for 84,845. Then, until they come on site,
The invoice that activated.
yeah, so we shouldn't have another payment for probably 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying if you're, as far as budgeting, we had put back 400,000 in
We have it
capital
in.
improvements,
Right.
potentially, but this is not going to be, we're only talking
This is.
Correct.
What is it?
This is
That's what we thought it was.
Roughly 85 in this.
85 in this fiscal year, yes, and then, yeah, 100 and, well, around 150 to 160,000.
Right.
And they have, DeKalb County and, actually Jackson County also uses this. So we would have resources at both of those counties. They are based out of Michigan. They have a ton of Michigan clients. Also, Baker Tilly's very familiar with them. And then Lauterbach and Heyman, who we're using for OPEB, they use, a lot of their clients use BSNA as well. So they'll be fully aware and have it. Gather information or improvements, whatever information we have, the files and the forms that we
So I think this is a great choice. I think this is the best choice for the county. And I know that you've been working on this for quite some time, actually. I appreciate it. Amanda, you're comfortable with this too?
Yeah, we both viewed it and it seemed to be the best choice.
Right. No, I'm happy. This is something that we need to do for some time.
Yes.
It's like many of the other changes have been happening around here lately. I appreciate, like I said, Ashley, I appreciate you working on this as diligently as you have. Gentlemen, I'm ready to approve this unless somebody else has got some comments or anything else.
Research on this.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I think we well documented the fact that this is needed. It's been needed for some time. And it will help in all facets of this county government. All right, I make a motion that we accept the proposal from BSNA software for the new ERP system. And is there anything else I need to add to that, actually? Okay, that's my motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have 2 seconds. Does anybody else have anything else to say? Hearing nothing, can I have a roll call, please?
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Jim Ray.
Actually, don't go far, because I'm gonna have some questions for you on the next. That's quotes for gutters at the morgue. Have either one of you been out to the morgue to see what this work is that's needed to be done?
George might have a better idea, but I know I was contacted by Dave McReynolds, and I guess the way the guttering system is right now, water seeps into the morgue right now because it either doesn't run off quick enough or it pools in an area where you don't want it to pool. So the issue is water is getting there.
Mhm.
So George, I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, so the east side of the building, the water that comes on the east side hit roof, so there's guttering all the way around the building. And it overflows, and part of that is the guttering system's getting old, but it's not maintained either. So after we put new gutters on, we definitely need gutter guards, to keep, there's trees growing. on the
Leaf and
east side.
debris.
Yeah, leaves and debris. But the whirligigs have gotten there, but and then the downspouts, they're placed really oddly. I really don't know what the builders were thinking when they put the downspouts where. But regardless, we need to move them, and then the existing, once the water comes down the downspout, to get it out away from the building, the pipes, they're all broken and they're apart. Long story short, it gets a lot of puddling near the door on the north side, the entrance door, and that's where some water's coming in. I really think with some guttering and then our forces doing some grading and shaping to get water away, and we can run downspout underground out to the woods to get rid of that. Sometime we won't have any more problems. It is quite expensive, but gutters are just different place. Got a couple estimates.
Okay. Gentlemen, in the morning, we had approximately 100, and is that actually about 150,000 in the two accounts out there?
146.
146. And the next thing on the agenda is the enterprise code, the corner vehicle. And like I said, there's quite a bit of money in that. The two more accounts out there, the nation is more than that. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Actually, would you say how much was in that account?
146, there's, in the morgue account, there's 87,548, and the cremation account is 58,500.
And plus the, in addition to that, the $986 for the rental for the new vehicle. I think we should use the money, I think he should use the money in his account. I don't want to run it empty, but that's quite a bit of money in those two accounts.
I agree. I think we've started setting that precedence for automatic budget.
We did,
Getting some of these other departments to use some of their funds.
like an automation account.
Yes, so that's what the money's used for. I think, other than the gutters and a vehicle. Care of that.
Last month, we approved a vehicle that, in my notes, for this budget year. We had some money for it, but it completed everything that I had in my notes.
That's it. It used up everything.
So I don't feel like we have anything, any play to pick these up if they need to be done. They have the money, in which they have more than enough to check the account. Absolutely needs to come.
And we're at the end of this budget cycle. So when we start budgeting this month, next November, if it looks like that we're going to just run those accounts that we have, which I don't know is 146,000. We can address that in the
Sure.
next 2 months.
Just for my clarity too, who owns the property? We're running into more and more of these technicalities of who owns county properties.
The county owns.
You remember-
Morgue was over in the refuge area. The refuge asked everybody to move out of the refuge area, so we had to build that and ship it.
Is it on highway ground out there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I don't know if an individual deed was made.
Well, that's
It's
what
just
I'm
on county
That-
ground.
I can't, I don't recall that was ever discussed. So it was just, there's the parcel and it's just going to put it there.
They're very good.
We put it there because of the security that we could get with the fence, on the inside of the fence and everything. So
So Jim, that was quite a few years ago when you were.
when I first came
commissioner
on board, about 2013.
Do you remember, was that was built by the county board, or was that built by PVC?
No, it was built by the county board.
Okay.
We took bids and the little bit of contract.
And you don't think they broke that little piece of ground out?
I don't
that
think
it's
so.
on? Okay.
I don't think so. I'm not sure, but
We need to find that out.
the PDC did not.
We have the title.
Huh?
I mean, that was part of all the title that used to
And what we just did?
restart,
Okay, I didn't know if that
because
was.
I asked for every county and every PDC.
Did that cover all the highway department?
Should have.
Ground
I
base?
asked, we sent them bills for everything that was under both names.
Okay.
That's-
So we should have that.
Yeah,
So we
well, I
should-
can look and see downstairs and match the parcel numbers up.
Okay.
Just tracks.
Or any of them, something trouble with the HR.
Okay. That helps. Thanks.
Okay, back to the 2 items at hand, the enterprise and the government. So the action by the board is to tell the coroner that he has money in his budget. If he wants to do this work, he can spend his money. I don't know that takes board action.
Not really.
We don't have to approve it for that, really.
The only thing I would have him check is that on this one bid, the date on the bid is 5/18.
Yeah.
Bid is good for 30 days from the date of, so it's well past 30 days. You need to
You need to update that
get
bid.
it updated and then let him go with it.
Actually, I don't remember how we set up the enterprise lease. Do you remember, do we have to approve a vehicle to go on to the lease?
I don't know, this will be the first one that you've done. Every other one you bought. I mean, it's still gonna go under the county.
Right.
I mean, we pay out of capital improvements, so we could just transfer the money from one of those trusts over into that for the difference for that portion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you need a board action to have that agreement between the office holder and you guys, or how you want to do that.
Commissioner Atkinson, according to the property GIS, that the recorder's office resides on Livingston County property.
Yeah.
That's deeded to the county, and it's part of the traffic that belongs to the county.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Jim, any idea how you'd like to proceed on that? You want to give me authorization to sign the contract? Because there'll have to be a new, I'm sure I have to sign something for that. Like
Yeah, I
we
mean,
did for the
you're
last.
right, so, but you signed all the prior ones.
Right.
As chair. Well, I guess Commissioner Marlowe did the first two. first started. So, I mean,
So
yeah,
since the board's not gonna be paying for this, it's gonna be coming out of Dave's,
Work funds.
right, out of his board funds, then Dave may have to make a decision about if he really wants that vehicle or not.
Mhm.
So why don't we wait until I find out from Dave if he actually
Sure.
wants that or not?
The approval on the lease would be just like any other we've done, because as you said, it's going on the existing account.
yes,
The difference is going to be, how are the funds going to be transferred?
whether or not you need to have some kind of inter-office agreement.
Right.
Between
Right.
the commissioners and that elected official, they're going to fund that.
Okay.
And whether we want the transfer to be monthly, quarterly, annually,
Yeah, whatever.
that's all got to work out.
Yeah. I will get answers for that. And get back to you on that. But as it stands right now, if the corner decides he wants to use his funds, the board doesn't have an issue with it.
Right.
Okay.
No, it's just.
Okay. Do I have anything else for these two issues? Moving on. Discussion on the minutes of liquor license. And I brought this up a couple of meetings ago to ask you guys to consider and maybe think about opening up liquor sales on Sundays. We have a couple of restaurants in the county, and we have a golf course in the county, and they would like to be able to sell alcohol in the morning, like mimosas or morning drinks at breakfast for the restaurants. And then the golf courses like to sell some alcohol in the morning to people on the way off. So, do you have any thoughts on that?
We did it once, not, but it was a long time ago.
I think it's always been 12:30 on Sundays.
It was for, it was late. And the petition, they were petitioning the board to move it up a couple hours earlier for sports games. Start. Or 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
We did move it up in. This isn't that big a deal. I really don't know. I could probably go either way on this. Initial thoughts, no, but. It's not an argument.
And I think we've seen a cycle, not just in the county, but in the municipalities, that the first step is to move the restaurants and the package stores come along later and say, well, if they get it, why don't we just keep inching and inching it? So I get it. I get the argument that Williamson County is trying to build a tourism base. And that champagne brunch on Sunday morning may be appealing, but overall, it's not enough of an argument for me to swing. I think for right now, I said a no, but I would listen to any discussion.
I'm kind of the same thing. I mean, that's what I said. Initially, I said no. Open to any argument. That's why I said it isn't that big.
It was to those particular businesses, but to everybody else, I think you're right. It's not a huge issue one way or the other. To those businesses and just for transparency, I'd heard that a couple of businesses were selling alcohol early. They just didn't realize.
Yeah.
And I did send out a letter earlier in the summer to all the license holders saying alcohol sales prohibited until 12:30 on Sunday. So they have, as far as I know, everybody's been abiding by that. But that's what really kind of started this whole thing. Is we heard that they were doing that. And I sent a letter saying they couldn't do it.
I think it's 12:30 on Sunday.
12:30 on Sundays.
I can see 12. That would be right now.
And I think municipalities are 12, so if we wanted to come in line, I have no issue with that, just for clarity.
Side. Most of your Sunday games start.
I don't have a problem with moving it to noon, but before noon, think I'm still, so.
Still, okay. Well, and I don't have an amendment written. I was going to have one written after our discussion today. And
And I believe part of what you provided us was also a request to push closing later. And I'm a no on
I'm
that,
a hard no on that also.
any discussion.
Yeah. Right, and I talked to the sheriff, I talked to the state's attorney, and I think that's the way they make it. As for extending out later, it's just the morning and Sunday. So if that's the case, do you want me to get an amendment written saying it's 12 o'clock instead of 12:30? In an effort to move this way with the municipalities? Okay. I'll have that by the next meeting, next month meeting. Okay, does anybody have anything else? For new business? Okay, I have a resolution for Friends of Ag. And Jim, I know you were working on this. Would you like to tell us what you've been working on?
Well, I was contacted by Lance Martin. Lance, I'm gonna turn it over to you on this because you're more familiar with this, if you would.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here
Give
today.
us a little education here on this.
Yes, Lance Martin, Williamson County Farm Bureau Manager. We've got Tom Miller, he's our county president. He's got a farm in southern Williamson County. You guys are mostly familiar with Tom's stuff. But, Illinois Farm Bureau, one of our initiatives is to just bring awareness of the importance of ag in all the counties. And this resolution has some facts and figures of just what it contributes to the local economy and everything. And does everybody have a copy? I've got extras if you need this. And it's just basically the importance of ag. And it's always, you watch interviews on TV of any state really, and they all say the same thing. It's like, it's every state's #1 industry. Because, of course, everybody, if you consume food, I mean, that's agriculture. That has to be raised or grown some kind of stuff. Just ask again. Of course, we was president here a few years ago, and every few years we'll probably come back to update our facts and figures and stuff. And just to continue to be a friend of agriculture.
I think a lot of people just take for granted that they go to the store, pick up the food, come home and fix it. Not think about what it takes to deliver that food to the store.
We are very blessed,
Yeah.
just to be able to go to the grocery store to pick up whatever.
Critical and fragile. It's just.
Yes, very much so. Of course, when we went through the COVID years, that became a very,
I think
became
that a lot of
evident.
people's eyes.
Yes, it sure did.
So with this is a resolution in support of the Friends of Ag. So without having to read this entire thing, I would like to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 25-09-09-63. The Friends of Ag resolution signifying that this Williamson County Board supports agriculture in every fashion.
Second.
I agree completely, Jim. Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, we absolutely support agriculture. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Mandy, can I have a roll call, please?
Tim Atkinson,
Yeah.
Jim Martin,
Yeah,
Jim Razor.
thanks, Vance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom, for being here too. Appreciate it. All these meetings are so exciting. I'm surprised that you're still awake.
It's interesting.
It is, isn't it? I have one committee, board appointment for today. Moving on down the agenda. And that is for the Public Building Commission. Sorry about that, I didn't put my phone on silent. That is to reappoint Jeff Green we probably should have done this, last month. I think his term is up in July. But we need to reappoint Jeff to the Public Building Commission. He's been an excellent commissioner on that. And is definitely willing to serve another term. His 4-year term would commence today and would expire on August 31st, 2029. So I make a motion that we pass resolution number 25090964, Public Building Commission, to reappoint Jeff Green to serve as commissioner for that 4-year term. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other conversation or questions? Roll call, please.
Tim Matheson.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Jim Reister.
And I did have a letter from the chair of the Public Building Commission. Doug Means, requesting that, so. Okay, that's all I have for board appointments. Moving down to public comment. We have some visitors today. Would somebody like to make a public comment?
Yeah, I'm Skip Steffen.
Skip, could I have you come
Sure,
up here?
sure.
And could you announce your name, please?
Yeah, Skip Steffen.
Where do you live at, Skip?
I live at Lake of Egypt.
Okay.
So I'm the vice president of the Lake of Egypt Property Owners Association. I was here at the July meeting when I think about half of the lake residents were here over the property tax issues. And I just have a couple of questions for the board. Number one, has there been a resolution or determination on what the property tax rates are going to be yet?
No, we've not seen that yet.
Okay, so I think it was due out in September, is what was said at the meeting. So I'd like to make a couple of points. So I know that you all looked at 4 houses, I think of the Egypt Shores. And as I recall, the sale prices, the recent sale prices versus the assessments, it was like a 44% variable. And so some of the things that are going on down there is, number one, there's a lot of VRBOs and rental homes there. And there's a lot of investors buying homes. In fact, we were at an open house on Saturday. A house near us is for sale, and there was an investor there looking at the house to purchase it so we could ostensibly rent it. So I think that is driving up some of the sale prices over what the actual assessed values may be. And a couple other things that are happening, and I've talked to some real estate agents down there. There's a lot of people are selling their furnishings, their boats and their docks. They're not separating the sale, which is kind of dumb for the buyer because, you know, the taxes are based on the sale price, but a lot of that's going on. So I think when you all look at the prices, you might want to consider that. So then I have a couple other questions. So I understand the state is putting in a hoop tax,
What tax?
hotel occupancy tax.
Not under property taxes.
No,
Not
but
that I know of.
well, our contention is there another way for the county to recover some of their lost, their underwater level on taxes besides just raising the property taxes? Because all the other people down there that are not renting, you know, basically are there to stay, and property taxes are really going to be difficult for those people to swallow. So is there another way that you could do that? I know that there's Williamson County has a hotel tax, I believe. I don't know if that's applied to the VRBOs.
It is.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, so you know who all those people are then, because they have to apply for a license. So I would just respectfully ask the board to look at those residencies as businesses rather than, you know, than the residences, and possibly find a way to tax those folks more than you're taxing the balance of the people on the lake.
Ashley, do you have a comment?
Yeah, so in regard to the hotel tax, the county administers that tax, but it actually is written over to Williamson County Tourism or Visit SI. We don't keep, we're a pass.
Any of that?
Yeah, we're a pass through. I get to keep 2% of what we collect as an administration fee, which is a couple $1,000 a year with that. Otherwise, all of that money goes directly, you know, and that's per legislation statute that has to go towards tourism, into the tourism bureau.
And that is that
Entity from us.
is that the state tax? Because there's a
The
state
state, so
tax.
there's a state tax that goes directly to the state. We don't receive any of that. That goes directly to them. There's nothing that comes back to us. Then the county has their hotel occupancy tax, which is
It's
5%.
5%, right.
So
Part of it goes one place and part of it goes another, but all of that money is either distributed to Visit SI, where the other portion is through an intergovernmental agreement that's given to the city mayor. So we don't receive any of that money. How?
None of that money goes.
None of that goes to
That's
us.
too bad.
It doesn't, the general fund, the Visit SI administrative portion. Now we have started to collect more because of the abundance of VRBOs in the Lake of Egypt area, but it's between like $5,000 and $8,000 a year. I mean, you're talking a $25 million budget.
Right.
It's,
Right, 'cause there's a lot of money being made down there, not only on rental of homes, but rental of boats, jet skis, all that stuff's going on. It's a whole little new subculture business that's going on. We're concerned about it because it's affecting the entire lake. So, and I know that the power company, I'm on a board, that addresses, that meets with the power company, and they're also looking at it too, because of this creating safety issues and all that, so. Anything you could do to keep our taxes down, though. would be good.
So when it comes to the VRBOs, the rental properties, their assessments, the value that the assessor puts on those is also, it is dependent upon what their income for that property is. So it's already kind of segregated from
Oh, it is.
regular homes, right? So the value of that, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to what the actual fair market value of any property is. And this is what we've been explaining to the people that come to meetings. If you're in a neighborhood where all your neighbors are selling homes and the sell price is much higher than the assessed value, that's going to determine the value
Right.
of all of those homes.
Right.
Accepting that your individual piece of property may have something that either lowers or raises that value. All those properties can be assessed with the same
Right.
value. No, it's a tough thing. There's been a lot of sales down there, a lot
Well,
of
it's crazy what they're selling homes for. It's nuts.
A lot of homes have gone for extremely high sales.
Right.
And we're still seeing that. And that's the thing, it's still happening. And that just raises everybody's assessed value because whether you're planning on selling your house or not, if you chose to, and that's the system that we have to work with, it is what is its actual value. You know, you may not choose to sell it, that still is the value of that property.
Right. I think it's slowing down a little bit now. There's a lot of houses that are been sitting there for 6-8 months,
Yeah.
not moved and stuff. Starting to see a slowdown.
First off, I appreciate that you're taking the time to be here to address the board and to get active to look at and address some of these issues. I think that's great. A lot of people just, look at the tax bill and that's it as far as it goes. But Mr. Atkinson was talking about the assessed values, but you did mention increasing taxes. Taxes, if you look at your tax bill, the lion's share of your tax bill goes to the school district.
That's right. About 60%.
Yes, and what I understand, I believe, which I've verified by a couple different sources, that they've received a 12% increase in pay this year, with another 4% next year.
Right.
It's a huge increase.
Yep.
I don't know how to get by with it, but anyway, but that's part
That's
of the
part of it,
lion's
okay.
share of your tax bill, which this board has no control over. The school districts, the school districts.
We have our monthly board meeting tonight, so we have the board of directors, which is, there's about 1,200 homeowners that are members of Depot. And then each subdivision has a rep and that they are a director. So we have a monthly meeting as well. We're having a meeting tonight. Now, this is a hot topic, but at least the people that live in Williamson County. So the people in Johnson County already got nailed a couple of years ago, their taxes.
Yeah, it's going up. It goes up every year, just like everybody else's does.
Well, I appreciate the time and I appreciate your consideration and
About 80 to 82% or so of all the money that this county collects for taxes, for property taxes, passes through us. That's going to all these other levying bodies, the schools and libraries and all of that. And I think ours is it 17%?
Somewhere.
17, so that-
17 to 20.
So around 80, 82, 85% of all the money that's collected here gets sent right back out. It's not kept here. It doesn't
Right.
come into our budget. You know, we're not spending that. The county board is not spending that money. That's going out to the schools.
I definitely comment. I think you bring up a valid point on the personal property. Because the three of us also serve as a board review. And we've heard the argument come in, well, what I would send back with you to help educate the folks at the lake is that needs to come in as an itemized list. If a purchaser purchases personal property, and that includes docks.
Right.
And the assessor's office will honor that as an adjustment of the purchase versus the assessment.
Right.
So when someone buys a furnished home, but they need to bring in that list of what was spent on all the items so that that can be adjusted. Without that, we won't play guessing games.
Right. That's a good point. Unfortunately, especially when somebody's investors coming in to buy a house, they're really not concerned. They're, what was it cost? They're throwing the boat and the dock in there, so there's $100,000 before you bat an eye.
But if you can help educate that if they can get that documented, it will help your cause.
Yeah.
But it has to be accurate. Okay, so a guy buys a house for $1 million down there and he gets a boat in the dock. He can't say, and it's a 4,000 square foot house. He can't come in and say that, hey, I bought this $1 million, spent $1 million on it, but I paid $700,000 for a house.
Right,
for the
right,
boat.
right.
But he's living in a 4,000 square foot house. So it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Had a call the other day, actually, yesterday, from an individual from, Lake Region, same thing. He told me the same thing. His purchase price also reflected that there were other items, thrown in. He told them to make a list and attach it to this.
Well, we will absolutely, right, if those numbers are what we need to get close, we will absolutely respect that.
I'll pass it along.
At the end of the day, our number one goal at the end of the day when it comes to building reviews, is to make sure that whatever we think that, whatever the assessment for your property is what you can actually sell it for. It's fair market value. That's what we have to do.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate you.
Right, right, thank you.
You're always welcome here.
Thank you.
Does anybody have a comment?
No.
Okay, yeah, I know you have a comment, but we can do that at the end. You want to do it now?
I'm good.
I have that.
Okay, yeah, I got about 3 things here. First off, I want to thank George for putting up the signs, or the recycling has moved to the new location, 211 East Boulevard. In Marion, I always call it U, but I know it's some call it the training center, so, and it's a great location.
How are they doing out there?
They said they've done well. I stopped by there and asked them, to see if there's any problems. Actually, it's working out good, that little drive. You got an entrance in and an exit out, and they'll take care of you there. So thanks for putting up the signs and helping redirect, and Brian for putting blast out on Hyper Reach. And so it's working well. Secondly, I've been in contact with Gary Pearson, and Gary, and I believe I brought this up last meeting, was talking about possible countywide cleanup in the fall. Okay, speaking with Gary, there are 2 dates, October the 11th and October the 25th. I would prefer the 11th. I think it won't take much since we've already had it done in the spring. He can get things moved.
What was the other day?
The 25th, October 11th or October 25th.
Are those both Saturdays?
They're both Saturdays, same time, same materials as before. I know the spring one, it was a little bit of a lower turnout, but that was due, I think, in part to the storm that we just had that weekend. I think George has told me there's been a lot of interest.
Yes, sir.
In saying if we're wanting to have another one, and Gary has told me the same thing, so I'd like to go ahead and get this on the books. We just got the bill in for the spring cleanup, and I think it was $2,700. So very,
That's less than I thought it was
very
gonna be.
reasonable
Yeah.
for the services they provide out there. I think we still have that in our budget to do that.
Commissioner
It's-
Marlowe, if you satisfy a date and let me know, I can register that date with the National Weather Service and we can get a DSS, which is Decision Support Service packet from them. And it'll let us know 7 to 10 days out forecast periods. So if we have to, even on a Thursday, if we have to say, Saturday's not gonna look good, we need to move on to a different date, choose a different date. That would be a support that we could add to help us move forward towards that, looking to see if there's any potential.
Okay, all right, that sounds good, right?
Once you guys, choose your date, I'll submit the packet and
Yeah.
I'll send you.
So I know it's not on the agenda,
It's a budgeted item,
it's a budget item,
so it's
so
already
I
been approved, so,
actually could probably fall under strategic planning.
yeah.
But, so I
I
don't
say
care.
hopefully the 11th is fine.
Proceed with it as the 11th.
The 11th, okay,
Yeah.
I will give Gary a call, and the 11th, October 11th, we will have our fall cleanup. And once again, we've got the list what they'll take already, so we can repost that and everything.
What time?
It was from 7 till noon,
And
and it's very organized out there.
Do you guys remember how far in advance we put message signs, message boards out there? Was it just a couple of days or was it a week? It was a week. A week, yeah. My recollection, which, of course, I missed it. Yes, I missed it.
But anyway, and then, the other thing, there's actually two other things. We got notice in email, I believe, that there had been some damage to the animal control truck.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll need to go ahead and take care of that. According to the lease, I guess, we have to take care of all the repairs. So, the other thing is, I went to lunch yesterday. Tom Harness, and talked about the VAC that's coming in, and, he would like us to put it on our website. If he could, he's going to develop a page, and then he'd like for us, if we could, put that on our website. And so we could either have a link that would direct people to that page, or somehow, however, I don't know how. Website is going to be most effective, but I told him, I said absolutely. And he would also like, not so much a contractor, because we have talked already about this. Something that states who takes care of it, because it's all new to them. And I told him, I said, the county owns that building over there, and then the county can take care of the repairs or anything. But, anything internally that they want to rearrange, they have their own budget, they can do whatever they want. But he just wants that in writing so that as their members change on their board, everybody can go back, or if they got a question, well, it says right here, this is how we handle this, or this is who takes care of that, just kind of.
So we need to MOU,
Kind of, yeah.
memorandum of
So-
understanding.
So,
Yeah, and at some point, we need to have a discussion about utilities and we fix that stuff. So we'll need to have a conversation about that.
so that's all I got.
I think they're planning to start at the end of this year. Is that what you thought, Jimmy? Was thinking?
The last time I talked with Tom, the treasurer was there were a handful of options floating. So I think we have some things to work out. I just sat through a training session with the Attorney General's office last week. And I learned some things that I did not know that significantly changed the way that gets funded. So I do think we've got a lot of things to work through. I'm still all for getting it going and supporting the veterans. Understand the mission, but there were some things I learned that were 180 degrees from what I thought. So we've got some negotiation going.
I was wanting to find out from Tom, how they handle the accountability for what they, for the assistance they hand out. I didn't know if they handed out cash, checks, cards, what, I just find out a little bit more how they would handle this. And I came away from the meeting very satisfied with the accountability, that's very important. I did reinforce the idea that the money that they receive is actually Williamson County taxpayer dollars. That, we like to make sure that helps Williamson County, individuals, and, he agreed. So, very good. Very good.
I was not able to attend that meeting. Wish I
That
was
was a good
able to.
meeting. I think Ashley was in my office. We watched it.
Right. Good. And I had another, I had been thinking. So I was able to- Okay, moving on down miscellaneous animal control, we've got an animal control meeting this afternoon. Any progress meeting? And travel reimbursements. Actually, you got anything for ARPA today? All right, I don't have anything for budget or strategic planning. Does anybody have that? And I have nothing for executive session today. Brian?
There's an employee issue.
What's that?
There's an employee issue that's gotta be decided by this afternoon. For separation.
Okay, after this meeting, you'll have to talk, and we'll see what it means.
It's going to be discussed by how we,
Okay.
executive session.
We have to go into closed session.
So depending on what it is. So I don't know what this is that you're talking about. So we'll have a discussion after this meeting. Once again, this meeting is going to be recessed and reconvened this afternoon. 1:30.
1:30.
Okay.
Make 1:30.
So
Either.
Brian, do you have something? you
Yeah, I
want
have
to
two
say?
things. Issue number one, I wanted to update the board on the May 16th tornado response. We're really winding down our recovery efforts with the May 16th. I've been working with our long-term recovery committee that is made up of the Southern Illinois Community Foundation, the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, and several other donor organizations that have brought dollars, materials, and labors to the table to assist those homeowners that have been affected. We've been receiving applications. I will have a complete and total report for the board in terms of number of homeowners impacted, number of dollars, donor dollars, and labor and material costs once all this is closed out and we close out the long-term recovery committee. However, there is a significant reduction in the number of requests for assistance. So there is some dollars left in that long-term recovery committee's allocations. So what I'm doing right now is I'm currently writing a proposal to use the remaining funds to offer tornado shelter grants for any of the homeowners who are building back, hoping to fund a portion or all of tornado shelters for those people who have lost their homes. We thought now is a good time, as they're in the design phase or as they're in the build back phase, to incorporate a shelter moving forward. So it is my intent to submit a proposal to the committee for consideration for using the balance of the funds. And I'm not even quite sure what that is at this point, but I'll get those numbers from the Community Foundation and use those as grants towards purchasing tornado shelters for those impacted.
Those were
families.
all funds that were given.
They were all donated funds, absolutely. They were derived from charitable donations through the Little Nashville event, through the Marion Connects event, and through other small dollar donors like Ice Manufacturing, Farmers State Bank, and some other small donors. So yeah, and all of that is being managed through this committee. But we looked at, trying to satisfy as many of the recovery needs as were requested. And we felt like we've done that. And then that balance of that funds, we look at our third pillar, which is response, recovery, and mitigation. So we're looking at moving towards that third pillar, which is that mitigation piece, and trying to help those homeowners with, resiliency moving forward, especially if they're going to build back in that location. They've already experienced it once. So we're going to look and see if we can do those grants to try to impact those homeowners in that way. So hopefully I'll have some news to share with you about that moving forward. Secondly, I wanted to share with the board the progress that we've made in relocating our offices. Currently, the internal renovations of the 3 offices are complete, and we are beginning to move all of our office furniture. We furnished them with some stuff that we had purchased secondhand, so I'll be seeking reimbursement for that soon. But we're starting to move our offices over to the location. It is our intentions to have we are actually operating out of that building right now. Futima is scheduled for an install tomorrow, so we will have internet. Other than our hotspot, we'll actually have a fiber internet installed tomorrow, so we'll be able to be fully functional after tomorrow afternoon. It is my intentions to have that office upstairs fully vacated by the end of September. That will not include all of the belongings that are in the storage, but the actual office space, we should be vacated completely by the end of September. Okay,
Thank you, Mike.
all right, thank you.
Does anybody have anything like this meeting tonight? Going once, going twice? Okay, I'd make a motion that we recess and reconvene at 1:30.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Jim Henson.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. What was your, Skip, what was your last name again?
Stefan, STEFFEN. So just run through the gauge or?